Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. This is Alan Burgos from the hashtag Walk with Lan channel. So today we will be continuing our lecture. We had two parts already, the part one, part two, and this one is the part three of the attacks, concepts, and techniques in computing security. So today, for the part three, this is in relation to vulnerability exploitation. In the past lectures, we learned that vulnerability, this is a weakness rather, or a defect of a product. Okay, and we learned as well the hardware and the software vulnerabilities in the past lectures. Okay, so today we will be dealing with vulnerability exploitation. Exploiting vulnerabilities is another common method of infiltration, infiltrating the system, infiltrating the organization. Attackers will scan computers to gain information about them. It's the same concept when we want to investigate or when we attack a person. So these are some of the methods for exploiting vulnerabilities. Step one, gather information about the target system. So let me move this one. There are. Gather information about the target system. This could be done in many different ways, such as a port scanner or social engineering. So it could be a combination of both or many methods for that matter. As I mentioned to you in the past, that attackers, they tend to combine methods. They tend to combine techniques. So we, as part of the good society, therefore we should be able to prepare for that. The goal is to learn as much as possible about the target computer. No? So when you are infiltrating, learn as much as possible about that particular system or computer to be targeted. Step two, one of the pieces of relevant information learned in step one, okay, might be the operating system, its version, and a list of services running on it. Meaning to say, the best thing that we could investigate is the operating system or the OS. Okay? All right. Now, when the target's operating system and version is known, what kind of operating system is that? What version is that? When did the organization last update that particular OS? Something like that. And version is known. The attacker looks for any known vulnerabilities specific to that version of OS or other OS services. Meaning to say, based on that operating system, for example, that is Windows 10, and we would investigate or we would know what is the known vulnerabilities or known weaknesses of that particular OS. Okay? So Google will be your friend here, no? In the past, when I work in the BPO industry, no, we know for a fact all of the weaknesses of devices. No, we call that as known issues of that particular application, known issues of that particular device. Okay, and then we document that one. Oh no, the company documented that, and then we will just relay that to the concerned parties. Huh? All right. Step four. Step four, when a vulnerability is found, the attacker looks for a previously written exploit to use. No? If okay, if we have that vulnerability, no, we know that vulnerability or that weakness. Okay, the attacker will look for an application, no, application to exploit that one or a technique, no, to exploit that vulnerability. If the attacker okay, if the attacker didn't find one or it's not available yet on the market, okay, the attacker would consider writing an exploit, something like that. All right. Okay. All right. So let's go to the okay. Now, in addition to that, advanced persistent threats. No, one way in which infiltration is achieved is through advanced persistent threats or APTs. They consist of a multi-phase, long-term, stealthy. When we say stealthy, it's quite secret, hidden, etc. And advanced operation against a specific target. No, so ang kumbaga sa in Filipino, trinabaho ito, trinabaho, meaning to say it's a slow process, but at the end of the day, it will be successful. Due to its complexity and skill level required, an APT or the advanced persistent threats is usually well funded. No? When we say well funded, maybe um, this could be um, uh, this could be done, no, or this could be sponsored by uh, by by companies, big companies and countries, right? And an APT targets organizations or nations for business or political reasons. Okay. Now, usually related to network-based espionage, APT's purpose is to deploy customized malware on one or multiple of the target system and remain undetected. So, with multiple phases of operations and several customized types of malware that affect different devices and perform specific functions, an individual attacker often lacks the skill set, resources, or persistence to carry out APTs. So APTs or advanced persistent threats is quite advanced. Okay, it's quite advanced that ordinary users or ordinary um, computing professionals could not do it. Okay. So this one, this particular slide that you can see on the screen is the DOS. No, DOS, this is not channel 2, okay? This is not channel 2 or ABS-CBN or okay, the home of ang probinsyano, no? Ni Coco Martin. Hindi po 'yon, no? So DOS, it stands for denial of service. Denial of service, this is an attack, no? This is an attack, no? This is a type of network attack. A DOS or denial of service attack results in some sort of interruption of network service to users, you know, devices or applications. There are two major types of DOS attacks, no? But before I discuss to you the major types of DOS attacks, this one is you prevent you the users or the clients could not be able to access your network services, no? So and one basic example of this is you just unplug the power cable, unplug the network cable, and kalas. Okay, kalas, because the other users, the users or the clients could not be able to access your website or your network services for that matter. Okay, one major type is the overwhelming quantity of traffic. Now, this is when a network host or application is sent an enormous quantity of data at a rate which it cannot handle. No, as you can see on the screen, we have the ping of that here. No, one user or one bad person, okay, would be sending a ping, okay, a series of ping to this particular server. Ping, 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 ping. All right. So think of ping klaxon. If you issue this command. So this ping, okay, and then series of pings, and then after this, this particular server could not be able to handle it because maybe the specs are not good, or maybe the specs are not good, no? So what will be the result of that? It will slow down the process, it will slow down the network, or at worst it could crash down. Okay, so this causes a slowdown in transmission or response or a crash of a device or a service. All right, now the second one is the maliciously formatted packets. Maliciously formatted packets. This is when a maliciously formatted packet is sent to a host or application and the receiver is unable to handle it. For example, okay, so this is an example. An attacker forwards packets containing errors that cannot be identified by the application or forwards improperly formatted packets. This causes the receiving device to run very slowly or crash. Yan, excuse me. Right. So those attacks, guys, no, those attacks or DOS or denial of service attacks are considered a major risk because they can easily interrupt communication and cause significant loss of time and money. No, not only time and money here. Also, we need to take concern of the integrity of the integrity and the credibility of that particular company. So for example, one company, Lazada, for example, and then they had this DOS problem or they had this DOS attack problem. Okay, so meaning to say the customer, the clients of Lazada, the loyal one, could not be able to access their website. Imagine, it's not a loss of money, but the reputation itself. Okay, now if the server or if the organization has been compromised, definitely the loyal customers or the users would transfer to another competitor, which is Shopee. Okay, this is only an example, guys, for the sake of the demonstration and for the sake of the lecture here. All right, now these attacks, guys, are relatively simple to conduct even by an unskilled worker. Okay, so we are done with the DOS. Let's go to the DDoS. All right. Okay. So one students of mine in the past, this one is DDoS. Sabi niya, Sir, loyal no loyal kayo sa Channel 2, ABS-CBN, the home of Kokoli. Kokoli, no? Sorry. Yan. The home of ang probinsyano. No? Sabi ko, bakit? Why? Ha? Tapos sabi niya, kasi sir, dos, DDoS, no? Yan, that is a joke. Anyway, DDoS it stands for distributed denial of service, no? Or distributed denial of service attack. It is similar to a DOS or denial of service attack, but originates from multiple. If you can see here, this will be multiple, okay, coordinated sources. As an example, a DDoS attack could process as follows, no? Okay? An attacker builds a network of infected hosts, all right? So this attacker would infect the okay would infect the network, no? Okay, would infect the network called botnet, no? So he or she will be infecting the network through botnet. Okay, the infected hosts are called zombies, no? So this will be called zombies already. The zombies are controlled by handler systems, no? So an attacker builds a network, again, a builds called botnet. The infected hosts are called zombies. The zombies are controlled by handler systems. Okay. The zombie computers constantly scan and infect more hosts, creating more zombies. When ready, the hacker instructs a handler system, okay, to make the botnet of zombies carry out a DDoS attack. So this is like a logic bomb. This is like a time bomb. Okay. Now let's go to the SEO poisoning. No, SEO, it stands for search engine optimizations. No, search engines such as Google work by ranking pages and presenting relevant results based on users' search queries. No, it depends on the query of the users, and then it will rank your website into appropriate ranking. Depending on the relevancy of website content, sabi nga nila, content is king. It may appear higher or lower in the search result list SEO. So if you will be searching hashtag walk with LAN on Google, I don't know what would happen there. Okay, in short, for search engine optimization, it's SEO. It is a set of techniques used to improve a website's ranking by a search engine. While many legitimate companies specialize in optimizing websites, to better position them. A malicious user could use SEO. A malicious user, no? SEO use SEO to make a malicious website appear higher in search results. Ano lang naman 'yan? Yung mga tagging, okay? Mga magic words in the descriptions, in the title, all right? All of these things and the hashtags, all of these things would matter, especially if you would like your website or your YouTube channel to rank very well, or that particular video on that particular YouTube channel, no? We call that, as technique is called in SEO, is poisoning, SEO poisoning. The most common goal of SEO poisoning is to increase traffic to malicious sites that may host malware or perform social engineering to force a malicious site to rank higher in search results. Attackers take advantage of popular search terms. No? So for example, the popular search terms right now is, okay, Prince Harry. For example only, Prince Harry. So, isisingit niya yon, no? Isisingit niya yon, yung particular term na yon dun sa particular topic na yon. Okay? All right. So, this is the description of the attack types, no? Okay? All right. So, for example, no, relatively simple to conduct even by an unskilled attacker. That is DOS. Sabi ko nga, that is quite simple. Why? Because hugutin mo lang, no? You just unplug the power cable, the network cable, kalas, that's it. Okay? That is DOS already. Originates from multiple coordinated sources. Remember the multiple workstations there? Okay, these are coordinated sources. That is DDoS. Zombies are controlled by handler systems. That is DDoS. When a maliciously formatted packet is sent to a host or application and the receiver is unable to handle it, that is DOS. Remember the ping of death? Ping, 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 ping. No? So meaning to say the receiver was not able to handle it. Okay? Make a malicious website appear higher in search results. Definitely, that is SEO poisoning. The next one is increase traffic to malicious sites that may host malware or perform social engineering. That is SEO poisoning. All right. Attacker builds a network of infected hosts called the botnet. Remember the workstations there, the zombies, etc. The attacker would infect through botnet. Would infect the network through botnet. That is DDoS. When the network host or applications send an enormous quantity of data at a rate which cannot be able to handle, the server itself could not be able to handle, that is DDoS. Okay? If the server could not be able to handle it, meaning to say there will be a crash or a slowdown of process or slow down the system itself. Okay? Now, what is a blended attacks? No, in the past, I've mentioned this, that attackers would combine blended techniques there, combinations, etc. No, as many as they can. Blended attacks are attacks that use multiple techniques to compromise a target. In order for them to compromise the target, okay, attacks would be there. By using several different attack techniques at once, attackers have malware that are hybrid of worms, Trojan horses, spyware, keyloggers, spam, and phishing schemes. This trend of blended attacks is revealing more complex malware and placing user data at greater risk. The most common type of blended attack uses spam email messages, instant messages, or legitimate websites to distribute links where malware or spyware is secretly downloaded to the computer. Another common blended attack uses DDoS combined with phishing emails. First, DDoS is used to take down a popular bank website and send emails to the bank's customers, apologizing for the inconvenience. The email also directs the users to a forged emergency site where their real login information can be stolen. That's why it's very important for you to what? To be vigilant and have common sense. Many of the most damaging computer worms like Nimda, CodeRed, Bugbear, Klez, and Slammer are better categorized as blended attacks. No? Some Nimda variants use email attachments. No? They use email attachment. When you click on that, kalas, file downloads from a compromised web server and Microsoft file sharing. Okay, anonymous shares and propagation method. As propagation methods. Okay, so that's why we need to be careful on it. Okay, other named the variants were able to modify the system's guest accounts to provide the attackers or malicious code with administrative privileges. All right, now uh, that's why I've mentioning this to my students and friends. When you really connect to the internet, you need to have a common sense and to have what do you call that? To have a common sense and to be vigilant about it. No? Okay. All right. All right. The next one is what is impact reduction? There is no perfect system. There is no 100% system. Okay, or even though you have the best of the best, no, personnel, and you have the not only the best of the personnel, but the devices that you have is superb in world class, but uh sooner or later there will be an attack. Why? Because while the majority of successful companies today are aware of common security issues and put considerable effort towards preventing them, no set of security practices is 100% efficient because a breach is likely to happen if the price is big. Companies and organizations must also be prepared to contain the damage. It is important to understand that the impact of a breach is not only related to the technical aspect of it. Stolen data, damaged databases, or damage to intellectual property. The damage also extends to the company's reputation. Responding to a data breach is a very dynamic process. So, so these are some of the security breach, okay, that were identified, no, according to many security experts. One, communicate the issue. Internally, employees should be informed of the problem and called to action. We need to involve, no, everyone, not only the higher ups, but also the lower echelon or lower members of the organization. Externally, clients should be informed through direct communication and official announcements. Communication creates transparency, which is crucial in this type of situation. The same thing with COVID-19 that we are experiencing right now. The government is very transparent every day. They have this communication to the public. Every day they have this ulat, no? Ulat meaning to say that particular how many COVID positives that we have, how many died, etc. No, something like patient of one place to another. They are announcing it on TV, on radio, and on newspaper also. Be sincere and accountable in case the company is at fault. If you committed the mistake, try to admit it and try to adjust as much as possible, as soon as possible. Provide details, explain why the situation took place and what was compromised. It is also expected that the company take care of the cost of identity theft protection services for affected customers. Meaning to say, guys, the company itself is quite responsible in everything they do. Okay. Now, because we have the law, the Data Privacy Act, the Data Privacy Act would, if the company is at fault, okay, the what do you call that? If the company is at fault, the Data Privacy Act, you know, through the National Privacy Commission could be able to prosecute that particular company. Understand what caused and facilitated the breach. If necessary, hire forensic experts to research and learn the details. That's why you, as part of the team, should be able to learn what would happen after the attack, the impact of it. Apply what was learned from the forensics investigation to ensure similar breaches do not happen in the future. You learned from your past, you learned from your mistakes in order for you not to repeat it after. Ensure all systems are clean. No backdoors were installed. As much as possible, try to clean up. Try to to format your machines, okay, and try to start all over again. Okay, ensure. All right, and nothing else has been compromised. That's very important. No, make sure as part of your team should there should there should be um there should make sure that there should be no compromise, no compromise systems, no compromise data, etc. Attackers will often attempt to leave a backdoor to facilitate future breaches. No, maybe there is a logic bomb there, time bomb there. Just be careful on it. Make sure that does not happen again. As what I've said, you learn from your mistakes, you learn from your past, you learn from what you have done in the past and move forward. So next one is educate employees, partners, and customers on how to prevent future breaches through newsletter. No, that is the most important thing. Try to educate them, no, not to share passwords, not to give their passwords, not to give information to those people who do not belong to the organization, and be careful on it. Whew. Okay, we are done with the lectures 1, 2, and 3 of this particular topic, the attacks, concepts, and techniques in computing security. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Okay, so before I give you the summary of this particular lesson, I would like to thank you because we are almost 2,000 subscribers, and then we have these milestones also. No, okay. Thank you very much. But if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Hashtag Walk with Lunch channel. Share it to your friends. Share it to your loved ones. Share it to your colleagues. Share it to someone who needs this lecture. Okay? Please do like these videos also, this video and other videos as well of this channel. And then, okay, hit the notification bell so that every time we have a new lecture, okay, we have a new video of different contents, you are always updated, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let's continue the summary. This topic covered the ways that cybersecurity professionals analyze what has happened after a cyber attack. I'm training, I'm mentioning this to my students that they should be prepared of what will happen after a cyber attack. Like the citizens, they should be prepared after the earthquake will happen. We should be prepared after the COVID-19 will happen. Something like that. All the strategies, etc. It explains security software and hardware sorry, we explained the security software and hardware vulnerabilities and the different categories of security vulnerabilities. We explained also the different types of malicious software, or what was that again? The malicious software or the malware. And in the symptoms of malware, we explained that one. Okay? And some of the malware that was discussed also included viruses, worms, Trojan horses, spyware, adware, and others. No? Through this, we know already what are those types of symptoms, no, that we have for our devices, and then in order for us to act as soon as possible, act fast when we know that particular symptom. Okay, so the different ways that attackers can infiltrate the system was covered also, including social engineering. No, sabi nga, we need to be vigilant. We need to have a common sense. So hindi tayo anga-anga. Wi-Fi password cracking, phishing, and vulnerability exploitation were discussed also. The different types of denial of service attacks were also explained. Blended attacks use multiple techniques to infiltrate and attack a system. Many of the most damaging computer works like worms rather, like Nimda, CodeRed, Bagbear, Klez, and Slammer are better categorized as blended attacks when an attack cannot be prevented. Now, it is your job, ladies and gentlemen, as a cybersecurity professional, is to reduce the impact of the attack. Okay, so we are done with the lecture. Okay, parts 1, 2, and 3. Thank you very much. Again, this is Alan Burgos, and of the hashtag Walk with Lan channel. I would like to say goodbye and stay safe, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, and God bless.